Back to the show. You're going to recognize our next guest. She's been on the show before as well, and she is also a part of a fabulous magazine, Ottawa Life magazine. She is the home and design editor. We are joined by Brandelyn Cameron. Brandelyn, welcome back to the show. Great to have you here. This is a great topic because we're talking about purchasing a new home, but in particular a new build.
Yes.
Why is a new build so much different than purchasing any other home?
Well, there are so many other decisions that you have to consider with a new home build. You have no idea what the end result is going to be like.
Right.
When you're purchasing a resale home, you walk in and you know what you're going to get. A new home build, you have no idea, and you have to make all of those decisions, and even worse, live with them after the fact. So you need to
It's all on you.
It
right?
is.
Yeah.
And if you hate it, guess whose fault it is? You have no one to blame.
See, that's why I've never done one. It's too much pressure for me.
And it's easy to overspend, isn't it?
It is very
So you
easy
have
to
rein
overspend.
yourself back. That's right. Yep.
And the decision-making process is overwhelming, and if you're not used to making design selections to begin with, you just want to throw your hands up and run away at that given point.
Right.
Because you get this design Bible, and you have to pick all of these things, and of course you want everything. Everything.
Yes.
But you can actually finish it with builder-included options, which are level 1 included in the price. So there's a couple of things that you need to consider, and even before you purchase, the most important thing is to determine what can you negotiate into the purchase price already, before you even hit the design
Is it flexible?
center.
Are most builders, new builders, are they pretty flexible?
They are, because when they implement their communities, they have different phases. So depending on what point of the phase you come in, and since they're mass production instead of custom builders, they want to do things all in a row. So let's just say they have this empty lot that nobody's purchased yet. If you happen to walk in at that time and they're trying to get rid of that one, you have a great deal just waiting to happen.
Okay.
It's like, I want granite, I want hardwood, I want 9-foot ceilings, and you're not even in the design center yet. You're just at the pre-purchasing point of the negotiations. And more often than not, depending on what part of the phase they're in, they will agree, and you can have that all in the original purchase price.
Okay. Okay. So there are some do-it-yourself things that one can do.
Absolutely.
And can you tell us some of the things that one could do to
Certainly.
enhance their design picture?
Of course. So depending on how comfortable you are with doing it yourself, you can incorporate a lot of different cost-saving measures. So one of the most common do-it-yourself things that you can do is a backsplash after the fact, which really adds some kitchen wow for you. Swapping out your faucet, pendant lighting, just many different things that are easy to do after the fact that can be scheduled in on a timeline and budget.
Right.
Okay. So.
And when you, we should also remind people that those basic finishes, they have to put them in.
Yes.
So when it comes to do-it-yourself, you will probably be ripping out the
That's right.
backsplash that they originally put in. But if you want something yourself, and I'm sure it's half, if not a quarter of the cost to do it yourself. Right?
Absolutely. And the thing is, most of them, they don't come with the backsplash. That's an upgradable option for
see.
you. But your countertops, and again, if you go back to pre-purchase, if you can negotiate the upgrades then, instead of your regular countertop, you can move to granite. And instead of your, your carpet, you can move to hardwood, and you can get those included beforehand. You're ahead of the game.
Excellent.
So.
You send along some photos. I think
did.
one is like a before photo,
That's
right?
right.
Sort of an unfinished. If we can bring up the before photo quickly here, we'll have a look at it, and then we can talk about. So what are we looking at? So this is obviously nothing been done.
That's
yet,
right. So that's as it's being built. So this is what the kitchen looks like. There's nothing. Subfloor, and that's it.
All right. Let's bring up
Yep.
the next photo. Our follow-up.
So here you're looking at the the DIY faucets. So the builder included faucets. I actually didn't like any of them, so I waited until after the fact, and I found this one.
Okay.
And where do you, so this one looks unique. Like, did you shop around for? Do you have something specifically in mind when you go looking?
I often do. I see the space, and then the completing accessory just comes to mind, and then I need to find it.
We'll bring up that last photo that we just had on, because this is obviously the finished kitchen. So what was the vision for this particular kitchen?
For this particular kitchen, I wanted to keep it a very neutral palette because it's a smaller space, I wanted to use the white cabinetry, but I wanted to bring in an element of the darker cabinetry underneath in the islands. So that was something that I changed, as well as the dark gray and brown schemes. The updated color for brown is moving away from chocolate and more towards a gray brown scheme, so I wanted to bring that in, but still make it nice and light with the white cabinetry, because everything else is so dark in that space.
I guess you could buy new hardware too, couldn't you? Handles to kind of give a little bit of a zing to it.
Yes.
You did. Okay.
Her eyes widened.
Because the thing was, they included black handles or pewter, and I wanted the antique bronze finish.
Okay, yep.
So I left the builder included ones until I could swap them out. And you can often get package deals on your handles. So again, it's a very inexpensive way to really add that little bit of wow.
I like the mix that you did with the dark and the light cabinetry, but when, like for someone like myself, I would never think of that.
Right.
When you go into a model home, is there somebody there that you can work with, or do you have to maybe even approach someone like yourself saying, you know what, I'm buying a brand new build, can you help me, build it, really?
Right. I mean, I think it has to be a multifaceted approach, because the more prepared you are going into it, the better off the outcome will be. So do your research in advance and make sure that when you go to the design center, there are plenty of people to help you always. But it's always better if you have a clear vision of what it is that you're looking for.
Right.
And that way you'll be able to say, okay, when you're in there, you can narrow down the selection process. Visit the design center a couple of times before you actually have to go for your selection appointment. That's another important thing, because then it gives you an opportunity to check out the finishes that they actually have available for you when you're in there.
Exactly. Exactly.
And we have more questions. We're gonna take a quick break.
Perfect.
Don't go away. We'll be back with Brandelyn right after this.
This program is brought to you by the Ottawa Sun. News with attitude.
A lot of people find that success is either by accident or by luck. I happen to believe that success is by design. I don't see a lot of shows like this out there, so we go out and look for the people that have designed their own success, and we bring the stories and formulas so the viewer can have something that they can take home with them and apply to their lives right away. Hi, I'm Alfonso Quadra, host of the Success by Design show on Rogers TV.
This is what it feels like. I really wanna love somebody. Hear me roar.
Welcome back to the show. We are back with Brandelyn Cameron. She is the home and design editor of Ottawa Life magazine. We're talking about purchasing that new build home. But before we get to some of our more questions, because I know Cynthia and I both have some more questions, you sent us a little teaser of the next issue of Ottawa Life magazine. So we're just going to bring that up. And this is an issue that everybody looks forward to each and every year. It's your September-October issue, right? Coming out in September. Do we not have it? We don't have it. Okay. It is the top 25 issue. So maybe you can that's the teaser we can give right there. My apologies. Technical difficulties. It happens on live TV. So can you give more of a tease than just that, or is that how we're going to
leave it like that. I'm sworn to secrecy, but as it is every year, it's a sellout, that one, and our Spaces issue in March. So this is a really great issue. It'll be out with the Globe and Mail on September 24th. So mark your calendars.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
Very exciting.
We will do that. Yep.
So,
good.
Absolutely.
I have one question about green and sustainability features. What should someone look for or work towards?
It depends. There are a lot of builders out there that are building green or LEED certified homes. If you're trying to do it yourself after the fact, you want to look at things such as like water conservation in your faucets, energy saving appliances are another thing that you can look for. A lot of the new homes have many of the features already built in, but if you're doing a reno, the important things that you can consider are repurposing anything that you're no longer using, i.e. using it in another part of your home, or donating it to like Habitat for Humanity is a great way to repurpose the stuff that's still usable, just perhaps not in what you're looking for anymore. So choosing appropriate products that have rapidly renewable flooring, such as cork or bamboo. Those are things that you can consider because of their impact on the environment is a lot less.
Good,
Right.
good.
So those are things definitely to consider with green design for
All
sure.
right, excellent, good.
When you go back to the buying that new home build, what about choosing the right community? Because I think a lot of
That's a
people
good question.
do so much focus on the home itself, they forget about the community
That's
that's
right.
surrounding them.
Yes.
How do you learn more about your community? And
I think it's just really important to research where you're going and what your lifestyle entails currently, and so you don't end up in a community that doesn't meet your needs, because you're kind of there for a little while. Once you make that commitment, it's not like, I think we'll try something else next week.
Yeah.
So you better understand, where do they have recreational facilities? Is it close to nature? What is your lifestyle entail currently? And how does this new community suit my needs? So those are
Right.
things that you really need to take into consideration. And most builders are more than happy to share that with you and have this information prepared for you in advance, just knowing what to ask when you're considering a new home purchase.
Would you suggest even they drive around the neighborhood?
Absolutely,
Right.
100%.
I
And
think we
the
always
build,
just pull
that's
into the
right.
driveway, we get out, I love this place, and then all of a sudden, whoa, this neighborhood isn't exactly what I
right.
expected.
Where's
right?
the shopping?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us,
welcome. Thanks for
Brandelyn.
having me.
Cynthia,
Thank you so very much. That
Thank
was
you.
great.